Hey crochet friends, it's me, Jonah. So I just got this in the mail today and I'm so excited to crack it open. And on top here we have our manual, of course, you gotta know what you're talking about. You have our backing cloth, you have your actual tufting cloth. You have your yarn, which is specifically milk cotton in this case. You have your tufting gun, which is also light. This is 1.2 pounds. I'll show you how everything works and gets put together here in just a minute. As you can see, I just finished drawing on my canvas and I used this roll of duct tape to help me make the perfect sun. As you can also see, I decided to freehand my design. But if you'd like to make sure yours is picture perfect, you can use a projector and then project your image onto the canvas and then draw it from there. But first, I wanted to go over some of the yarns that I used and how I applied them in different ways to get different textures. For the first of the two cacti, I used this yarn right here. This is called Honey Bunny Candy from Hobby, and it has a really unique tweed running through it that would occasionally get caught in the tufting gun, but not too often, but it had a really nice texture to it. For the sun, I used these two colors together, which are just two worsted weight yarns in a bright red and a coral held together to make a beautiful sunset. For the clay ground, for the sand, and for the cream background, I used a chunky weight yarn in just 3 different colors, which worked really well, and I found it made a really full background. For the gecko itself that I told you I was going to make, that I crocheted actually and put on as an applique, I used a worsted weight 4-way yarn. And then for the other cacti, I used 2 different yarns held together again, because these are both worsted weight yarns, so they have to be thick enough to make sure you don't rip a hole in your canvas. I'm using a super bulky yarn, so I'm going to unravel a bunch of slack here, because you want to have plenty of slack when you're tufting, otherwise yarn will get caught and pull out of the tufting gun. Next up, we're going to thread it through the yarn tension holder right here, through here, down to the second area, back up to the third area, just like so. When you're trying to thread your gun, it's always helpful to have a large eye finishing needle, which I have right here, and it makes it a lot easier to thread your needle. Take your tufting gun and always make sure it's off when you're threading. Push it through. Push it through again, through both holes. And then you have your adjustable speed dial in the back here. Right now it's at about 3/4 speed, which is pretty fast. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit here. Now I'll insert my tufting gun right here. You want to make sure you put apply pressure forwards and then pull up at the same time. And you let it run. And also, I'm going to be adding some crochet into my tufting project. Like the flowers here, I'm definitely going to crochet those because, frankly, I'm not skilled enough to tuft them quite yet. And also, I'm going to crochet a gecko here on the side of this hill because my brother, he loves geckos. And that's who I'm making this wall hanging for. Came down to it, my options were either to crochet an I-cord or to crochet the Romanian cord like I mentioned earlier, and I decided to go with the Romanian cord because I just prefer the way that it looks. Here are some things I love the most about the H1 Lite tufting kit. Of course, it all comes in one box, so everything you need you can bring on the go with you. The small lightweight frame, it clamps onto your table super easily. The lightweight gun is just 1.2 pounds. You can tuft for hours and hours on end without any hand pain. Of course, you can use whatever yarn you'd like that you have on hand, as long as you just double up or triple up, depending on how thin your yarn is, or use a single strand if your yarn's thick enough. And of course, make sure you have a large eye finishing needle or some other needle to help you strand that yarn through the machine. Make sure to use my code down below if you're going to buy a Clawlab for yourself to get $20 off. Thanks so much for watching and crochet away, friends.